Hi guys, so today I'm using a new microphone and I hope you like it because I'll probably be sticking with this one for quite a while. So that's part of the news, but the much bigger news is that, as expected, Julian Castro, who was the former housing Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, he is expected now to run for the presidency of the United States. They received an article from 270 to win Julian Castro to run for president in 2020. Um, if you look, Julian Castro from Texas, former Housing and Urban Development Secretary from the state of Texas, 38 Electoral College votes. And for the proof of this, former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro joins 2020 Democratic presidential field. Take a look at this.
I am a candidate for President of the United States of America.
Hopefully you could pick that up with the new microphone. So today we're just going to go through a 2020 election prediction between Julian Castro and President Donald John Trump. So Julian Castro from the state of Texas, many people have joked that, no one's going to vote for him because he's a Castro. I'm not really going to weigh in on that, so we're just going to get right into this video. So the West Coast will obviously easily go over towards Julian Castro. In addition, I see the state of Illinois, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, the District of Columbia, New York, Vermont, and that first congressional district in the state of Maine. They will all be safe for Mr. Castro. So Mr. Julian Castro starts off with 183 electoral votes. Now let's go through the safe Trump states: Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, most of Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Indiana, I would all put into the safe Trump column. So 183 for Julian Castro, 125 for the President of the United States. If we go into here, we're going to go through the safe, likely, leaning, and toss-up states. So Texas, even though Julian Castro is from this state, I'm going to put it inside the Republican column. Now, my reasoning why is Julian Castro, you need a very, very good Democrat in order to have any shot at winning in Texas. Julian Castro, not that kind of Democrat, and I see him losing his home state by about 4 or 5 percentage points. Next state, the state of New Mexico, I see that one being not too close. Julian Castro probably going to run away with this one by about 12 points or so. Same thing in the state of Colorado. I could see that one moving into the Democratic column by about 8 points or so. The governor's race went to the Democrats by 10 points. Definitely that's something that the Democrats could capitalize on in the state of Colorado. Now, Nevada and Arizona, both of these states with Julian Castro's Latino appeal, I see him closing the gap in both of them. In Nevada, I see that one narrowly going to Julian Castro, but in Arizona, I also see this one with his Latino appeal narrowly going towards Julian Castro. That puts him up to 214 electoral college votes to Mr. Trump's 163. Now, let's go through the southern states. So Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. I do not see Julian Castro winning. His appeal does not extend to the African American voters in these states, and I see Julian Castro actually losing by decent margins in all three of them. Florida by about 3 to 4 points, Georgia by about 4 to 5 points, and North Carolina by about 3 to 4 or 5 points. Now end Virginia. I see that one going towards Julian Castro, and that puts him ahead of Mr. Trump 227 to 223. So still very close between Julian Castro and the President Donald John Trump. The state of New Hampshire, I see that one narrowly going towards Julian Castro. But at the end of the day, it's going to be very close. In that second district of Maine, I see that one going towards the president, and then that Maine at large, I see that one leaning to go towards Julian Castro. It would be leaning, but considering that Clinton made it a likely margin, I believe, I'm still going to put it into the likely column, given Julian Castro probably a better candidate to run than someone like a Hillary Clinton. In the second district of Nebraska, I see that Julian Castro not really making it competitive. I see Trump running away with that one by about 6 or 7 points compared to where it was in 2018, 2016, and 2014. So, where do we stand? Julian Castro has 233, Trump has 225. Where can Trump make up this gap? I see him winning the state of Ohio and Iowa, both by quite solid margins. Iowa a bit less than Ohio. The latest morning consult polls came out, the approval rating, Trump underwater by quite a bit in Iowa. That's why I'm not putting it in the likely column, but I still see both of these states going towards Mr. Trump. His appeal does not extend to the white working class voters in both of these states. But I do see Julian Castro actually winning in the state of Minnesota. And that's also something to note, that he could do quite well in a state like Minnesota. However, his milquetoast rhetoric will not go well in states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. I do not see Mr. Julian Castro winning in any of these 3 states because of how he can't appeal to the voters in those states. So this is where we finish off 295 for Mr. Trump, 243 for Julian Castro. And again, major breaking news. Julian Castro is running for president, unlikely to win the Democratic primary, but you never know. And yeah, Julian Castro running for president, and this is the breaking news. Let me just find it.
And the other would be standing with you here today to say these words: I am a candidate for President of the United States of America.
So that's Julian Castro announcing he will run for President of the United States. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down your suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.